There we go. Now we got it fixed. All right, anyways. Okay, we're gonna do this on Rosetta. So, like I was saying, with the Smola S5, it has 3 lamps surrounding the bulb instead of 2 lamps on top like a Kaleido M2 has, right? And the Skywalker has an IR bulb in the middle, so that makes it more of a radiant heat roaster, where this one is more of a convection dominant roaster. Although there is a solid drum, so it has elements of conduction in there, but it's mostly convection. I think maybe like maybe a 50-50 split. Nah, I don't know. I think it's mostly convection for roasting, but there is a solid drum in there, which makes it kind of act more like a conduction roaster in a sense. But so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try picking a roaster that is like similar, so that would be more of like a Kaleido. Kaleido. So you could pick like Kaleido cereal, and I'm gonna filter. I'll pick one that's kind of similar. Yeah, maybe put Peru in there, see what happens. Zero airflow. What the fuck? Let's go find another one. That's warming up, so we'll wait on that. God damn it. Kaleido. Yeah, this has a lot more roasters than it did before. We're gonna find one with a pretty graph. Pretty ROR. That's the only thing that sucks. Nah, forget it. I'm just gonna go manual with this one first, and then we'll try another roast later. Kind of a bunch of the same beans, so. Back to here, start manual roasting. Good, at least the PID is working really well. All right, so I got these beans kind of warmed up on top. I'm gonna drop them in, we're just gonna charge this thing, okay? I don't know how I should treat heat. Maybe I'll treat heat like the Skywalker. I probably shouldn't. We'll start off at 90. We'll turn this off. I'll start this heater at 90%. I'll play it safe and go 85. All right, I'm gonna hit charge. Oh. Let me try moving this camera around. So there's all the side damage from when it was shipped, but this has like this little part here that's the hooks that can hook to up to what's that thing called? A cyclone. And you have this side. Nothing here, but here's all the shipping damage. Looks pretty cool. It's also only supposedly only $500. I mean, that's how much I pretty much paid for it, so it's supposed to be like 500, but we'll see. And the ET is going to shoot to like 230, 260 up to. It was really different from a Skywalker. See where it's at. Still a bit of green on there. Still in the browning phase. Or about to hit the dry end. Still a little bit green. Oh, it's a 160. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit longer. Okay, there it goes. I'm gonna drop the heat again. So it hasn't blown up yet. So far it's doing good. The only weird thing is it kind of, a lot of the chaff comes out of the side, which is kind of annoying. We probably just need a cyclone. Up and down. There you go. I think I heard first crack. There it is. Third crack. First crack. I mean, so far it's roasting. It's a roaster. Works well. I just don't like I don't like the chaff coming out the side like this. I gotta probably put a bag around it or something. I'm gonna bring it to a minute 45, then I'm gonna drop it. Ow, fuck, oh, god damn it. I kinda really don't like that part. When you drop drop the beans, it's that. This thing is all metal, and it's hot. Oh, let me put the fan on, cooling fan on. Also, I feel like the cooling fan on this is worse than the Skywalker, which I find incredible. It has a bunch of space back there, so you could put another fan on, so. Yeah, I'm not a, oh fuck. That still burnt me. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap something around that. Other than that, that was a decent roasting experience. Maybe put like a rubber cap like on it. Let's take a peek. Yeah, and this is pretty much what it looks like right after the roast. Let's remove this screen. Yeah, so you gotta put like a screen on that side thing right here. And just showered that whole area with all the chaff. But at least that's one way it comes out. And it doesn't go in the bottom, I think. It's weird because the bottom chaff, it's like all burnt. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Yeah, that thing sucks. Is it cooling it? I don't even know if it's cooling it. Yeah, it's cooling it off, but those fans are terrible. I honestly think they're worse than the Skywalker fans. The bean cooling fans. I mean, I know I could just buy an external bean cooler, but that's not the point. You kind of want an all-in-one unit. But for $500, I mean, it's not too bad. It's heavy. It's all metal. No plastic, really. Better components, I think, than the Skywalker in terms of like the board. It has thermocouples. The top part's all metal. There's no plastic on the front end. Just a little weirded out about the bottom part, the bottom tray, because I thought it collects some chaff, but it collects all the like burnt chaff. And, you know, when it comes to burning chaff, that's going to impart some flavor onto the beans, I think. I have no burnt chaff on my Skywalker. Yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't impart any flavors on it. It definitely looks like they're burnties. So it's a belt. So the back has a belted fan setup. So instead of like a direct drive setup, it's like belted on there with two pulleys. Yeah, they need to work on this fan. It's still freaking hot. I wonder if I could get like a blank one without the label. Smola, it just sounds weird. I think of Smola, I think of Schmegma. Don't look it up. That's what I think about every time I freaking hear it. I'm gonna replace this with something. I'm gonna put something over that. That thing's super annoying. Schmores. Schmola. So 2 things I don't like off the bat. They need to change this part. They need to change that into like a wooden handle or something rubber on it. That's an easy fix. That shouldn't be too hard. I might 3D print something to put on there. All this is cosmetic, so I'm not really worried about this. This is all because of customs. We also need to replace the cooling fans to something more adequate because there's a lot of room back there, and they don't need to have like this ridiculous, weaker than the Skywalker cooling fan setup. Yeah, it's still very hot. What I do like about it is like it's already integrated with high beam, so it was really easy to connect. I mean, the Trier's fine. It has 1 more lamp than a Kaleido, so instead of a 2-lamp setup, it has 3 lamps, so more heat. Exhaust comes out the side, and you can hook up a Cyclone or one of these kind of small baby Cyclones you can maybe hook up to it. What I don't like is I don't like the burnt chaff at the bottom tray. I'm not a huge fan of that. Because if it is smoking in there and it's maybe making the beans a little bit smokier, I think that might be a thing. Yeah, I don't even feel the fan. Also, I'm not a huge fan of this funnel thing. Like, it's kind of janky. And the beans, there's not enough of a slope, so the beans kind of just get stuck. It needs to be probably pitched up more upright. This is kind of cool. The bean trap so you can hold the beans. I do kind of like that. It makes dropping it easier, but I think with a better slope on the funnel, it'll drop them even faster. Because I was kind of like, that's a long time for all the beans to drop. It should be a little bit faster. I do like the all metal front frame. I'll have to flip it over to show you the back soon when this ever gets done. I'm about to put this with my Skywalker cooling setup. It's still super hot, but it's hot enough to touch, so I'll give it that. Well, let's take a look around it. Still very hot to touch. Very heavy. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna turn it off first. It's one of those times I need mitts. All right. Let's take a peek inside here. All right. Oh, is that a third fan setup? Maybe that wasn't a third fan. No. I'm not. Okay, maybe it is a two. Oh, it's a two heater setup. I thought it was three. What is that? Oh, no, it is three. Okay, there's a lamp here, and then there's a lamp down over there. So, boom. One lamp's on this side. The other lamp's over there. Then there's a top lamp over there. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then the third lamp over here. Here are the God, these are awful. I'm gonna take these out. These are stupid. I'm gonna put blowers underneath. We had a mod like that where we put like these blower fans at the bottom, and they work so much better. So I'm gonna put those in. This power supply is the same type that they kind of use in the Kaleidos. It's not the same brand, but they act like the Kaleidos act like they're $89 worth of power supply. It's not. It's like a $10 power supply that they sell for $89 on their website for some reason. That's a huge racket. So you can find the exact same one on AliExpress for $11 for a Kaleido, but they still use the same kind of like ones, not like ours where we use it from a cheap dehumidifier. The Skywalker has a cheap one that's, yeah, pretty much you'll find in dehumidifiers apparently. This one, these are in a bunch of different units and they're kind of nice. They're actually, it's like a nice DC 12. So it says DC 12, so there's a DC 12 volt output and a DC 24 volt output, I believe. Anyways, I think it's 24, it's at 12 volt. All right, and then you have this blower fan on top, which is kind of nice that there's a whole fan setup because I'm right here. Because I'm getting into this now. I'm gonna start putting an exhaust probe on my Skywalker and on this unit. And I'm gonna probably take out the thermocouple from where it's set up, and then I'm gonna just put the thermocouple set up in here. So right, that's the blower box. Gets all the airflow. It moves the airflow, but I'm gonna probably put a probe right in there. Just drill a hole, put a probe right in there, and then so I can measure exhaust temperature. But we'll look at the drum. The drum motor is a scaled up version of ours that's belted. So you have a nice little belted setup. 150. Ow, fuck, that's hot. They're gonna need to put a HDT belt on this if this drum's gonna get super hot. Because this should be rated for at least 80C, and that is hot. What is this rated at right now? Oh, it is a little heat, is it right now? I think they're called HGT belts. They're high, or HT belts. They're high temp belts, basically. You could usually find them on like, I've seen them a lot in like heated build 3D printers, or Core XY heated 3D printer. But right now, cooling off, it's like 168, 170 F Fahrenheit, which I don't know how much that is in. Let me translate that, or calculate that. 76 degrees Celsius. So this really needs one of those 80 degree belts. High temp belts. This motor gets pretty hot too. So they're gonna probably, I don't know, if you have to do back-to-back roast, I'm kind of curious to see how well this handled back-to-back roast. But this is like an enormous version of the V2, not enormous, but it's a bigger version of the V2 motor, where their motor's direct connect. Theirs on here is probably no, there's no gearing done, so it's about the same. Maybe the same RPMs, 540. It's a 12 volt 80 RPM motor, so I guess the drum's going about 80 RPMs. I don't think there's any control. This looks like it's just straight up 24 volt on, and no pulse width modulation or anything needed. No H bridge or whatever needed to control it. Yeah, it has one of these. That's kind of nice. I wish Skywalker had one of those. This is really just a on and off port that they have. Grounded, which needs to be grounded. That's good. I gotta figure out what kind of motor that is. It's a lot larger. The kind of a weird setup when you put the motor out like that. I wonder if they try to do that for heat purposes. But on the plus side, there's enough space where you could slap a heatsink on the back of the motor. So if you look at the back over here, there's tons of space. So you can probably, if it does, overheating does cause an issue if you're trying to do back-to-back roasts. But at the same time, oh no, they actually, I think they have a fan on it. I'm trying to see where the thyristor's at. Unless that's cooling off a thyristor. There's a fan here. I don't know what side it is on. I can't tell if there's a SSR or anything that they're using, but I won't take it apart just yet. But yeah, and this uses two thermocouples, one for the environmental temperature probe and one for the regular probe. This must be the ET probe, so I'm gonna probably cut this out. I don't know if I should cut it out. I'll probably cut it out. I want an exhaust probe, but whatever. We'll see. I think environmental temp is kind of important when it comes to these convection roasters. So I might put in like a third unit in, a third temperature probe in, just so I can measure that on my own. I want to take this all off and see what kind of fans are and see what kind of fans I can replace that with. Right now it has 600 watt bulb, so it has 3 600 watt bulbs in there. It's very interesting. So I think this is just like a 12 volt unit setup. Everything's 12 volts instead of 24 volts. The thing that's kind of janky is that the cage does roll a little bit like this. This part does move quite a bit, but I think you could adjust it to where it could stop moving. I'm wondering if that was a centering issue with the drum. But yeah, that seems to be about most of it. Is that tack welded on? If you look at here, it looks like it's just a bunch of little tack welds that held this thing on. They'll probably have to make some custom one eventually. It's like the little blower box, and there's like a centrifugal fan in here. I think that's what they're called. It's kind of like the fan setup in the bullet. But in terms of things to like DIY, I mean, I think it's fine right now. What else would need to be done? I don't think there was much else to be fixed. quote unquote. Probably the fan. Probably the top full filter is kind of stupid. And basically just a lot of the cosmetic front stuff needs to be fixed. The tryer's fine, but the other thing isn't the handle for the opening the bean chute. I shouldn't have to be burned to open my beans to drop them. Yeah, Skywalker uses some plastic, so I'm pretty sure we can just, I might print out something to put like a shell over it or something. But yeah, that's basically it. This is a $500 roaster, does up to 600 grams. I don't think that its little bean holder thing, it barely fits 400 grams. There's no way it fits 600 grams. So I want to say maybe 500 grams at the most, but it looks like maybe 450 could fit in their little bean tray. This thing. This is about 373 grams, and it's already like, it's close to the top. Maybe 450. I don't know if it could even do 500, but if they say they could do 600 grams in that drum, who knows? Maybe they got maybe some really small dense beans. So yep, that's basically it. I'll cup these. I'll tell you guys how it tastes. I did about like 2 roasts on the Skywalker, then 1 roast on this. I want to taste this, see if it's any good, and then I'll kind of report back and leave my thoughts later. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining. Oh, another thing I do like, did I already say that? That it connects to High Beam automatically and Artisan? I don't know if you could do both. No, you can't do both at the same time. You only could do one at a time. But you don't really need to do both at a time. That was kind of just High Beam people like me flexing that we could do both at the same time, which is really stupid. But no, this can only do one at a time. But I think it does transmit in TC4 protocol out the USB port, so there are options for, you know, making your own High Beam software or your own little, I don't know, Artisan scope if you really wanted to. So that's kind of nice of them to do. They don't decode or encode like a Kaleido. Even the V2 does a little bit of trickery when it comes to how the code's leaving to the tablet. It's very rudimentary like stuff that you could easily get the AI to figure out for you, but yeah. Anywho, that's it. I mean, it was a decent time roasting. I didn't screw up as bad as I thought I would, so. But it's going to determine on how it tastes. I'm wondering if it's going to be smoky because of all the char left in the tray. Because if you take a look at this tray, it's a bit concerning. I don't know if I need a cyclone to get most of that stuff out, but I feel like there's probably a little bit of like a little bit of smokiness coming out of there, right? So I guess we'll see what they taste like. If there's any huge difference, then at least we know that might be an issue. Which might not be a big, huge issue. I might just need to add a cyclone or something. But it's weird because I don't want to affect the airflow too much, so I don't want to pull too much air out of it. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways. Alright. Anyways, I'll let you guys know how the long term on this is. But so far it looks like a good unit for $500. I mean, it does everything out the box that we did on a Skywalker. And it doesn't cost, well, it's probably $500 then shipping. Where the Skywalker would be $700 altogether shipped to your house. $713. For V2. V1 still remains $500 shipped or $400 shipped. But if anything, that's good to have more competition. Because now we get cheaper roasters if we have a better competition, right? So, I'm wishing Smola the best. Hopefully, they can fix some of the issues. I really just need a front panel and just the side panel. That's all that was really damaged during the shipping. But it works just fine. The controller itself took a beating. Took a freaking beating. But it still works really good. Like here's the... It bent up the plastic case in the back, so now it's just exposed like this. And this is how, see the small little unit right here? That's basically how, I think that's basically how the high beam connects to it. It looks like a ESP32 is on there. Or something. Some kind of thing. It has like that little antenna to transmit Bluetooth over, so that's pretty cool. Yep, and the controller is kind of no frills. I'm not sure if I like it more than the Skywalker. Oh, let me turn it on. But it looks pretty rudimentary. So if we turn this on, you just hold that left one here and then you can move it. Or you can move this fan. And it has ROR for both. Gives you the time, and this is completely manual mode. No profiles to load up or anything like that. They rely on Artisan and High Beam to kind of do that for you. Where in Skywalker, they'll give you those free profiles that I'd never used before. But yeah, that's the main stuff of it. All right. If you do decide to get one, tell me how you like it, and if you enjoy it. If you have a Skywalker and this, tell me how you like it. I'm very interested to see what other people think. I'm still going to keep using it because I usually roast with the Skywalkers because I have so many of them. But it'd be nice to have like a little unit I can compare. I have this, and I still have the Cormorant, and I still have the Kaleido M2. So I still have a bunch of roasters. At least I can know I can use and compare. And when people say I don't know what I'm talking about, I can say I got one right here. So, I'm still getting another, not a big roaster, but a small little, the Nova roasters next. So that'll be the next one I'll be trying to test out and recommending if I do or don't. We'll see. You'll know it's a piece of shit if like I do get it and I don't review it and I'm just like, hey, just buy this Cyber roaster or buy this Nova roaster off me right now. That'll be a sign that it's a complete piece of shit, but we'll see. I have high hopes because I really want a small roaster for smaller batches to experiment. I'm getting tired of roasting 400. Now I'm stuck with 400 grams of garbage beans for a month, or 800 grams if I did like comparing roasts. I want to do smaller roasts, but I can't really do that on the Skywalker because I think 350 and up is the best. All right, anyways, that's it. I'll let you know Thursday will be another stream. I'll let you know how much I'm liking the beans so far, all right? Or you can see me on Discord. I'll probably make a post about it. But anyways, hope you like it. There's more options for everyone out there. Don't have to pay that extra cash for the Kaleido. You could buy 2 of these and for the price of 1 Kaleido. So think about that. And it has 3 times the lamps. Or wait, no, it has 2 lamps in a... Okay, so that's 3 lamps compared to 2. Got me there. I think they have 800 watt fans in the Kaleidos. I'm not sure. But these ones are 600 watt each. Times 3, so value. I don't know. All I know is that it does get hot as shit if you leave it on and you like try to control beam temperature, but you notice your ET or your undying temperature is like at 260 degrees Celsius. That was insane. But no scorching of the bean whatsoever, which I thought was fantastic. But we'll compare all these, right? Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. See you later.